Yeah, that's excellent result. Must be delighted with a lot of aspects of that performance there.
Yeah, I'm most delighted with the character in the group, with the team spirit, the personality shown from all the players out there today. It's been a busy week for us. There's been a lot of traveling without any complaints because other teams have injuries as well. But we don't have too many players available, and it's been the same players going all over again. So we knew that this would probably be a tough one for us out there. So we had to bring a lot of discipline in our game, a lot of hard work, a lot of support to each other, and just also sometimes the acceptance of probably not finding and making the perfect game for us. But the result was important at the end, and I'm pleased with the performance from the group.
And the thing of it is, I mean, the game. Anybody who hasn't been here hasn't digested that game. It's 5-1. You probably think that was pretty routine, but when they equalise at that point, the game's in the balance, and to show what your team did straight after the goal, but then to go on as well, tells a lot about your team.
It tells a lot. I think we have seen it actually many times so far this season, where we're not too carried away emotionally with conceding goals. I think we saw it Wednesday night in Leeds as well, where I think the performance from us after that conceded goal was good. I think that we probably had our best 15-20 minutes in that game straight after the goal, and I think it's been the case so far and this season in a lot of the games that we can respond even though there's some adversity and even though there's some things that is not perfect. So I'm pleased with it because it tells a lot about the personalities in the group of players that we have, that they're able to do it. Of course, it was important for everyone and yeah, especially the players on the pitch that just scored that second goal, because to be able to bounce back so quick after conceding a goal was really, really important to us.
You mentioned him there. Obviously, there's a lot of stories out of that game, and you know, him to come back, and he doesn't need to prove anything at this level. Everybody knows his record speaks for itself, but it just shows what having him at the point of your attack can do to this team.
He's a quality player, and it's not even up for discussion. So of course, when we lose him and he's not in, it will mean a difference to the team. That's simple as that. He's quality, and he's also quality for the players. He's a big voice in the dressing room, and he always responds well to the way that we prepare the game. But he's also able just to see the game out there and sometimes to be able to suggest some adjustments or small details that we can correct. And he's just to have him around the team means so much to the group of players.
I mean, was it ever any tempting, the two games we've just come off the back of, to try and fast track him, because you know what he's about? He's shown it again today. That's what he can give you. But did you have to just err on the side of caution, basically?
It is tempting, and if you could see his eyes looking at me when we were about to stop him after that second goal, he was not satisfied with that. That was not what he wanted. But we had a plan beforehand that it was maximum 65 minutes with him today, no matter what, because we cannot take any risk. The last thing we need is to have another injury with him. So we need to still be careful. But 65 minutes, 2 goals, that's a step in the right direction.
Probably the other big story there is externally anyway, is Lucien. You decided to give him his full debut today. Why today, and how do you think you went?
Why today is probably also the fact that we have played a lot of games, and now Ben Crisena has been a part of the lineup for 7 or 8 games in a row, and probably all of them needed just a couple or a little bit of rest. And it's also been the case with some of the players up front, some of the players on midfield, even though there's not too many to change between or to swap between. But it's been the case for a lot of the guys that they've been tired after, especially the Leeds game. So we had to rotate a little bit. And with his presence in the group so far, I think he's been really, really good for us in training. He's been really good for us in the games that he's played recently, the minutes that he's got. So if not today, then when? So it was a decision, of course, a big one, because he is young and it is his first start on the championship, and everyone could see that we had to bounce back after those 2 difficult away games for us. But that's also who we are and who we want to be. That we, even though it's probably not obvious to everyone that we have to play with a young player, we can still do it if we feel the timing is right.
I think with him as well, these last 3 games that people have seen him, it's the personality and it's the maturity. He doesn't look phased at all in this environment.
No, not at all, and that's probably why he can take that step today, and the reason why he can do it, because it is that personality that's behind it. And it was also a simple message to him before the game: just go out there and play what you normally do. That's how it is. There will be mistakes, there will be errors, there will be things that you cannot control, but that's a part of football. But we just want to see what you can do with the team, and I think he did. There was some difficult moments for him out there today, but there was also some good moments, and I think he was tired when we took him off, and I think he will sleep well tonight.
Sure he will, yeah. Lewis Dobbin as well, big for him in terms of his story to score that goal and the confidence that will give him.
Yeah, important for him. I think hopefully a lot can see what he can bring to the team. He gives us a lot of running up front. He gives us a lot of runs in behind. He's a threat also when he takes on fullbacks 1v1, can create chances like that. And I think it's just for us to probably just unfold that last part of his game. So we hope it's going to be here, and we hope that he's ready to do it. That's what we see every day in training, and it was good for him to score that goal, but it was really, really good for the team that he scored, because it meant that we could take a little bit pressure off the shoulders, stepping into the last 20 minutes, being 2 goals up instead of only 1. So it made a huge difference to the game.
And in that sort of last 20-minute period, just a word on Ante, because you were very clear yesterday. In an ideal world, you wouldn't have had the exposure he's had this season. There'd been a slightly different plan.
Yeah.
You managed to get him a little bit of a breather. Came on at Leeds, came on again today, and he, what he's produced in terms of end product today, goals and assists.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I'm right in all my decisions, but I think for a young player sometimes to step out, not be a part of the starting lineup, and then to be able to come on for today was 45 minutes, but it can be 20 minutes and 30 minutes where the game is a little bit more open, and there's probably a little bit more chances towards the end of a football game than in the start of the football game. And it can create a little bit of also confidence boost for him to get in there and succeed with his actions, score a goal, being close to scoring 2 goals, and just that's also what young players need once in a while, because it's a tough fight, more or less all the games that we play, especially the first 60 minutes of a championship one, before it starts to open up a little bit. And he's been on for those 60 minutes, and a lot of starters so far in the season. So I think it's good, and the ideal world, we could do that a little bit more. So he's a starter, then he's out, and then he's a starter again. That is how we want to do it. But it's not been the case for us so far, and that's just what we're dealing with. But I'm happy for him and his performance, because it gave us the extra energy boost that we needed out there.
And keeping that positive theme going, the fact that you could have Sorensen and Cordoba in the 20 and get him on the pitch as well.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. And I think, to be honest with you, Paddy, and the rest of you guys sitting in the room here, I'm not super delighted about our performance, because I don't think it was top. I think we got a little bit too stressed and hectic sometimes on the ball, and we didn't get it right with our high pressing against them. That's also probably down to me to make sure that we get it even better. But I'm really, really pleased with the attitude in the group, and the character, and just the way to fight hard even though we don't succeed in all the things that we want to succeed. So also fair to say that it's, in my opinion, it was not a 5-1 game today. I think it's well deserved that we win, because I think we created more chances than them, and I think we created bigger chances than them. But it's probably not a 5-1 game, and yeah, it's sometimes the beauty about football, but also the tricky part, because I'm performance-wise much more delighted with our home performance against Millwall, just to give an example. But when you just look at the result, it doesn't seem like it was a convincing one. But that's how it is. But the character in the group, that's the headline for me today.
2 more if I can, Johannes.
Yeah, of course.
Was that legginess, maybe that weariness, was that sort of a part of the thinking there with that double change at half time?
Yeah,
freshen it up.
It was. Kellen got a knock to his foot. I don't think it's that much. I think he can be available again for the group going into the game on Saturday. So it was just, again, we could see, okay, if he struggled just a little bit, why not make the change then and put Jack on and some fresh legs again. And the same with Ante. I think, to be fair to Onel, he's been creating some good moments for us, but he looked tired out there today. So instead of waiting 50 minutes in second half to do it, then let's do it in halftime and make sure that we constantly try to bring fresh legs out there on the pitch. And that was a big theme for us today. It was a big part of our planning, how we would choose those subs and what we will do and how we will manage the second half of the game.
Final one, transfer-related one. I just wondered if they were quite productive talks you had with Ben.
We had a very good meeting, and I think it started at 2, and I think we were done at 5:30 or something like that. So we discussed more or less everything.
Good. Does that change anything at all in terms of the strategy and rest of the window?
The strategy is as it has been from the start of the season. No matter if we win a game or we lose a game or whatever happens, that will stay the same. But of course, it's fair to say that we're still in the market, and what is it today? 25th, 24th, 25th.
25th.
So there's some days to go.
8 days. Yeah.
Thanks.
Can I just ask about the impetus that Jack Stacey's given you? A couple of tackles in particular. He gives that sort of mobility and physicality that sort of gets the crowd up as well. What was your impression of his performance, and why did you introduce him at half-time?
Yeah, like I said, because Kellen got a small knock to his foot, and we just thought it was the right thing to do. We actually spoke about before the game that it could potentially be one of those games for us where we have to do, if not two, then at least one sub in halftime, just to make sure that we kept the energy level high, because we knew that would be a big part of the game for us today. You could also see it out there. Our high pressing was probably not existent for us today. We allowed them too many long spells on the ball, and we just have to accept that. That was a part of the game today. And also, Jack has been playing a lot. He's had a lot of minutes recently, so to make sure that he can go all out in 45 minutes, that was probably the best for us to do today. And he is a player where we always kind of know what we will get. He will give everything, and he will make sure that when he's done with the game, he's used all his energy and he's making tackles and runs as well. I think he made some good runs down the right side also to create some dangerous moments. So, yeah, he's a great player for the group as well.
And just lastly, to obviously settle things a little bit after 3 tough games, how important did you feel just to getting the W was? Never mind the margin of it, just getting the victory today. Yeah. How clutch was that?
Yeah, it was important because, again, to be fair and to be honest, I think the group has not been too affected. I think it's fair to say that Brighton, they just have more quality than us, and probably also Sheffield United at the moment. They are top of the league, and they fight for promotion. They probably have a little bit more. Leeds United is also fair to say. So I don't think the group has been too carried away by results, but everyone can of course see that we lost 3. But I don't think we are in a position at the moment where we can expect to be able to compete with teams like that. We try our best every time we're out there, but it's probably just the teams below that, in that category just under that, where, okay, here we really have to be competitive. Here we really have to get the results. And that was a game today for us, an important one for us today. And I'm pleased with the result and the performance, because it was a difficult one. With all the traveling, with the busy schedule, with not too many players available, but just the character of the group to go out there and get it done and make sure that there was, at the end at least in the game, not too much discussion about the result.
Just a quick question about Sargent. I mean, both goals, he managed to find space in the area, didn't he? It looks a good passer, obviously. Is that part of his skill, that he can find a little space in the area to sort of score like that?
Yeah, I think it's actually sometimes what we forget to talk about when we mention Josh. It's often that he's a great striker. He's good at holding the balls. He's good at dealing with a couple of centre backs in between them. But I think one of his best skills is actually his running. And the way that he can run in behind and his timing in those runs. And I think we also saw it in first half, where he had a situation where he spinned out on the left side, on the right side of their centre back, and had a shot with his left foot, a little bit similar to the goal he scored, where that's the same kind of movements, where he anticipates where the space will open up and where he needs to go. So I actually think what he's probably best at, in my opinion, is his timing of the runs, both in behind but also on the side, to open up space for himself.
They're great finishes as well.
It's top
corner each time. I mean, top quality.
It's top quality, and I think it's obvious he's a top striker in the league. There's no discussion about that. So when we need him, it's a big loss for him and for the team. And when he's available, it's great for the team. And like I said, just also his personality. He's a big voice in the dressing room, and he gives us so much. He's an important one. So we also have to protect him a little bit.
Yeah.
Thanks, Johannes.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.